Okay, we're back with Lanny, noted ethnobotanist and author of Medicinal Herbs of California, and we are looking at white sage.
Thanks, Chris. Yes, we are here with actually the cover girl of my book, Medicinal Herbs of California. I have white sage on the cover, Salvia apiana of the mint family, considered a sacred herb by the Chumash. In fact, by every Native American tribe that I've had association with or studied, this is considered a sacred plant. Many people nowadays are familiar with the practice of smudging, burning a leaf of white sage. So let me address that right away because this plant, while it is plentiful within its range is a very small range. It only grows from the Baja California up to northern Santa Barbara County and inland a ways. But that's a relatively small range. That's the only place it grows on the planet. And wherever you can get to it with a car, it has been over-harvested for the illegal white sage trade, the black market trade in white sage. This is a serious problem. But fortunately, there's still plenty of white sage in the backcountry where you have to hike to it. So many modern native people ask that people do not pick white sage. My website, herbwalks.com, and my book have directions on how and where to collect plants and what we call sustainable foraging. And it is possible to get a permit, for example, to collect plants in the National Forest. And those instructions are also on my website. So my Chumash teacher, Juanita Centeno, told us about this plant. And she talked about the Chumash way of collecting plants. And what she said was, the first thing you do when you come to the plant that you want to collect from is you give thanks to the plant. And that can come in many different forms. She said the traditional way would be to leave a sacred herb offering for the plant, which would typically be tobacco in most Native American cultures. So I've made up my own sacred herb mixture that contains tobacco that I grew, white sage, incense cedar, and sagebrush, 4 sacred herbs. And I'm going to leave a little of this here because I'm going to pick a leaf of white sage to talk about it. So I'm going to leave a little offering of sage, sagebrush, tobacco, and cedar here at the base of this plant. And just give thanks to white sage for its healing properties, for its medicine, and to all the plants, for everything that we get from plants, starting with the oxygen that we breathe. So then I'm going to pick one leaf. One leaf. That's all you need to smudge. You don't have to get one of those bundles like they sell in the markets and swap meets and so forth. You let this leaf dry, and then once it's white, dry and crispy, then you can light it and it will smolder. It won't flame up and burn away. It smolders, and that smoke is therapeutic mentally and physically. It's antibacterial smoke. It's calming. It is used for purification inside and out. Sage is in the mint family. We have 5 kinds of sage here in the Ojai area where I live. And we're parked here in the shade right now because it's a pretty hot July day. And this particular plant likes lots of sun, but it's going to get plenty of sun the rest of the day. We're just catching a little morning shade right now. So we have white sage, black sage, purple sage, chia sage, and the shady loving sage, hummingbird sage, here in Southern California and right here in Ojai. White sage has many uses. They're all described in my book. One of the most notable is that you can make you can steep an infusion of the tea in a covered vessel and then take the lid off, put a towel over your head and inhale the steam for the sinuses, for clearing out the sinuses, for inflammation in the upper respiratory tract, and many other uses. So I'm going to leave it at that, and you can research my book, my website, and other sources as well. Just wanted to introduce you to this plant, and right now it's just got a few little flowers still on it. There's one of the flowers right there. But it's mostly going to seed now. These seeds are edible, but you can also plant them to start a new white sage patch. So I encourage you to grow this plant and to buy it from reputable sources. Make sure it's not from the black market. Salvia apiana, bee sage of the mint family. Thank you, white sage.
Thanks, Lanny.